The Buddhist practices are also good. I don't believe in following belief systems. I believe in following practices that produce tangible results, like being able to meditate and have like an actual profound experience, not just following a belief system that tells you what's right and what's wrong. You know, I had a video on my YouTube. I don't know if it's still there, but it talks about the difference between like manners. Well, I'm talking about manners, but here's the thing: it's like man, bad manners does not always mean bad karma. Not being polite doesn't always mean bad karma. Morals and karma are two different things, because so that morals are determined by society, and it just depends on the vocabulary you're using. I'm not saying it's good to like hurt people. Like the value I live by is um, never do something that you know is wrong. But then how do you know what's right and wrong? You have to develop clarity within yourself. You have to understand what purity is. And purity is, like acting in good faith with the best intentions, never living out of spite, hate, jealousy, etc., etc. Like always recentering yourself to the place of compassion inside of yourself and letting go of all that and always making the best decision you can in the instance, like not creating unnecessary pains for people. And so morals, that whole thing, it's a popular thing to talk about, but like how's that actually applicable? It's like people feel like subconsciously you don't say bless you, all of a sudden it's bad karma. you know, it's like some people will be offended if you don't say bless you, for example, or someone says Merry Christmas and you don't say it back, all of a sudden like you're being rude to them. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that doesn't really fit into the category of morals, but it's like my friends make fun of me. They say that my mom would tell me like Merry Christmas or a holiday and I'll just say nothing because I don't believe in it. Like I'll be on the phone with my mom. They're like, yeah, your mom said Happy Easter. And then you just fucking said nothing, and like, they'll make fun of me like that. And I'm like, hey, if I don't understand it, if I don't believe in it, why am I going to do it? It's like, I don't want to say bless you just because it's what people say. I don't believe in that, for example. And all the things that go along with that type of conditioning we've been subjected to. So I want to create a new culture. I want to understand why we do everything we do. Easter, Thanksgiving, why would anybody actually celebrate that for real? Like, if you don't understand the deeper purpose of it, obviously, I'd know why you'd celebrate it. But the thing is, like, do you even know what it actually represents? Like, and like why it is what it is? Do you really think a government, like a government acknowledged holiday is actually going to be good for you? You for real think that? Like, where did they even get these things from? Why are they accepted? The fucking Christmas decorations and Halloween decorations annoy me greatly. When I look at it, I'm like, these people just, they're in the rat race and then they have their holidays to keep them satisfied. It's like the quote from whoever who's like, give them the games, give them the Coliseum or whatever, and then they'll not pay attention to what's actually happening now. It feels ingenuine. And so I'm like, let's invent our own new holidays. Don't do anything that you don't understand. It's like someone will find something and they like it and they feel good about it, so they identify with it without fully understanding it. Because they like one thing or a few things that's said in the book or the belief system or the religion, they assume that it's all right without investigating every single part of it. They're like, oh, it feels like the truth to me. When I came to this, I felt better. I felt blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to follow all of it. And they live following the whole belief system as if all of it's true without questioning every single thing inside of it. So for me, it's like everything you believe, you should believe because you thought about it thoroughly, not just because it makes you feel good or because even someone you respect told you. It's like someone who respects someone, they'll just like regurgitate what they're saying without actually thinking about it. They'll speak as if it's a fact without having actually experienced it or, really contemplated it. And so that's what really annoys me about um, what I see in society. People who are being mindless and people who don't actually think about things. And I know that a lot of people don't like to think about things because it makes them uncomfortable. They get annoyed. They get frustrated. They get angry. You know, they like think like a lot of people are incapable of being honest with themselves, and it's just like it's frustrating because I don't like to be limited. I don't like to, um, I don't like how limited I am in conversation with the average person. You know, because the average person they don't they don't think, and I know it's popular to belittle the average person and call them NPCs and stuff. And I don't know if I'm just in a what's it called? Like I'm creating my own experience or whatever, but that's what I see a lot of the time. And I'm not trying to judge them as less than me. I'm just frustrated that people give up too easily. Their standards are too low. They've been, I don't know, they've been taught. I don't know. It's all they see. It's all you see in every area of life of anything you ever do. It seems like everybody's mediocre. I feel like almost anything anybody does, you can become better than most people really quickly if you actually tried. Just most people don't try with anything. Let's think about school. People go to school, it's a complete waste of time because all they're doing is memorizing shit out of books to pass tests. They're not actually learning any real wisdom. And you go to the school and they're teaching you what the truth is. But what you're supposed to do is question everything. You can't just accept what they're telling you is the truth because you haven't thought about it yet. So you just have to blindly accept their answers and you go get a job with that degree. And the thing is, a lot of college teaches wrong information. So the only time people actually attempt to develop themselves, they do it in a way that's completely inauthentic, based on lies. And the idea that you have to go to college in order to be credible, to be taken seriously by others, is ridiculous because going to college, I think more often than not, makes you less trustworthy, less credible, because all you're doing is learning wrong information. Is it useful in some areas like law? Sure. But, you know, is it useful in any way for things like psychology or anything like that? Well, here's the thing. It still teaches a lot of BS with it. So, yeah, just after people go to college, they go to work, they don't have any extra energy with their lives. You go to school, you spend all your time in school, you're exhausted when you finish school. You don't want to study more. You want to be done with that, you know? You just spent all your willpower, all your life force learning something that's not true, and then you become exhausted, and you never learn anything else because you just learned the truth, and then now you go do your job or whatever, or like it's so much. In my experience, it's so much better to live in a car and like not have to work than to have a full-time job, come home exhausted, have no extra energy, just to pay rent and still have $0. I'd rather have a car and do what I want all day, every day. What do I want to do? I want to study. I want to socialize. I want to develop my skills and do the things that make me happy. So, living in a car, like, okay. Let's say you have a family who has money and you have a bedroom that your parents provide for you. I don't have that. My dad, I can't live with him. My mom, she doesn't even have a bedroom for me. I sleep in a tent in her backyard. My only other option is on the couch. I don't actually have a bedroom. I don't have a place I can go. And, if you have a family you can live with and you have your own bedroom and they're not going to get on your ass about controlling your life or getting a job and you can do what you want, great. You don't have to live in your car. It'd be much better to be in the house. But if your only option is to like pay rent, or live in a shitty house with like either a shitty house or a shitty family situation, way better to live in the car. You do DoorDash, you do Uber Eats. You can live wherever you want, work whenever you want, go anywhere you want, whenever you want. And so I was at the Hindu temple today, and I was thinking about the Vedas, the Hindu scriptures. It is believed in people's subconsciouses that if you say it's wrong or you don't believe something, you are like going against God. You are disrespecting what's pure. You're respecting something holy, something divine. We have all these customs and procedures, and if you don't do it, they think it's disrespectful or you're disrespecting God. But here's the thing. The Vedas aren't perfect. The Bible's not perfect. All the religions, there's nothing that's perfect. So to trust anyone that's 100%, it's not going to take you to the highest place. And it's not the most honest thing to do. It's like, don't identify with anything. Don't call yourself anything. Just be. Whatever you know is whatever you know. You don't identify with the belief system. You don't pick the right faith. You don't pick the right belief system. You learn from everything as you go through your life. And, don't underestimate the fact that you can learn things more valuable through your own experience rather than just in books. I know some people are like, where's your credentials? Where's your proof for this? I'm like, I thought about it. It made sense. You want to talk about it? I can explain it in several different ways. And I've thought about it from every perspective I could possibly think about it. I thought about every possible objection. I've gone over it all. That's why I believe it, not because I read it in a book or I have a PhD. You know what I mean? It's like, you want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. Let's argue, or not argue, but let's go over it. People being loud, but it just a lot of people don't. They think to be taken seriously, they have to go. Some people be like, I know college is bullshit, but I'm gonna get a degree so people take me more seriously. I'm like, you're still playing the game. Don't do it just to be taken seriously by people because you're validating their beliefs. It's like actually like preventing them from realizing, I think, because it's like you're just validating their incorrect beliefs. You're tiptoeing around them and not forcing them to change. So it's extremely important to be doing yoga seriously, and yoga is more than stretching. It's the meditation, it's the breathing, it's the stretching. So what everybody is missing that is extremely important, that is basically mandatory for you to do, at least like regularly. It doesn't have to be constantly, but go through phases where you do it really seriously. At least like if you could do it every day, perfect. Like you need to meditate before the sunrise. Like you should be waking up 2 hours before the sun every day, or at least 90 minutes, and meditate until the sun rises and then watch the sunrise. And you should be going to sleep at a time where you can get a full night of sleep before the sun rises. So the winter's a lot easier for this. In the summer, you can't really do this. That's why it might be better seasonally. So like you need to like wake up with a full night of rest in the morning, wake up, exercise, get yourself going, eat something really quick, suck an egg, and then meditate before the sun rises. It's extremely important. And that's how you're going to develop your own inner realization. That's the most potent time to meditate. That's when you're going to have the most results. And so that's where you really gain wisdom. That's where things come together. Of course, you still have to study, but you have to study the right things too, and not take any of it as truth without verifying it yourself. It's like I can look at an astrology book and say, oh, this combination of sun and moon in this position with Mars does this. I'm not going to tell someone that's a fact unless I've observed it, enough to prove it. People will make astrology videos, or they'll do astrology predictions for people, and they'll tell them facts about their chart as if they're facts without having actually verified it. Just because they read it in a book, you can't tell someone this is going to happen unless you've actually seen it happen. So in regards to the meditation, I have a how to meditate video on YouTube. Just watch that. And in regards to what I said earlier in this conversation, that's something that should really be thought about. Should really take that seriously. People who just now joined, I'll probably repost this part of the video on YouTube, and I highly recommend going back and watching it if you just joined. But It's like moments like this that I find valuable. I'm here at the park alone. I can feel the trees. I can feel the grass. There's a vibe. The air is fresh. The sun just went down. It's peaceful. It's quiet. I get clarity here. Waking up before the sun rises, you know, for some reason that's a special time. Part of it's because nobody else is awake, but um, this park's going to close. I don't know if I'm about to get kicked out or not. But when you meditate in the morning, it's like a ×5 amplifier in your spiritual practices. Like when I say to meditate, I mean like don't waste your time just sitting there thinking you're meditating. But at the same time, you might have to go through that a little bit to figure it out. It's like you might think I'm not meditating right. I'm doing it wrong. I'm wasting my time. As long as you have faith and practice with sincerity, you will learn. You will receive the blessing. You will discover the secrets. And that goes for anything in life. You want the blessings of the guitar. You want the blessings of the bow and arrow. You want the blessings of roller skating. You want the blessings of anything. Pursue it with devotion, sincerity, you know, um, consistency, discipline. It's like with respect. Like if you're not following it with like pursuing it with respect, how can you expect it to give you its secrets? Think of it as if it's its own real living thing. And so I was tying that into the meditation, taking the meditation seriously. I woke up every day to meditate early for like 2 weeks, but then shit happens in life and I have to stay up later because I have to deal with drama or something happening in my life and I have to resolve things, get thrown off my schedule. But I always want to get back into it. So I just had 2 weeks where I did it really good, and the last few days I haven't. Because when I start waking up and falling asleep while meditating, I'm like, okay, it'd be better to sleep than have a meditation that produces no fruits. Um, but that can easily be used as an excuse not to practice because you think nothing's going to happen anyway. Here's the thing. Like, every once in a while when I meditate, every once in a while, most of my meditations might like result in barely anything. But every once in a while, I get really lucky and I have a really, really good meditation where it's like, holy fuck, I'm so powerful, you know? And it's just like an incredible experience. And whenever you get into that state where you feel powerful, where you're in this super power, like you're in a deep state, you're in a very special state of consciousness, milk it as long as possible. Meditate as long as possible. Because you might only experience that once a week, once every 2 weeks, once every month, once every 2 or 3 months. Whenever you get into that rare state that's like where you feel super powered, you want to hold that state as long as you possibly can, an hour, 2 hours. If you can meditate for 3 or 4 hours, just keep meditating. You know, even if you have to lay down and continue the meditation because your legs are falling asleep or something, just keep going. Every once in a while, you get lucky, and whenever you have those extremely powerful meditations, those are where the most results are going to be produced. So take advantage of it. Like what I mean by results is lasting impact on your consciousness. You might meditate every day for 2 months and think you're wasting your time. And then on the 64th day, you have this fucking insane meditation, you know? And you might, on day 63, you might think you're wasting your time and you're going to stop. But the next day, you have the most amazing meditation, like completely changes your life. And like the next day, like you could quit meditating, but you're still going to be different after that, you know? And even if your consciousness goes back to normal after, you still remember that it happened. And having the knowledge of that being a fact, being a possibility, transforms you because you can always get back there. Hi. How's it going? Good. So, like when I was 18, I took the meditation very seriously. But then I fell into poor health and I couldn't practice for years, also due to difficult circumstances. But the thing is, I always remembered what I experienced, which helped me to carry through during the hard times and just have like a compass on how to live my life.